Hey, it's Scott Barrett, and welcome back to The Burning Truth. And tonight we're tackling one of the hottest topics in wrestling today, I suppose. It's the latest wave of releases for WWE. Loads going on. We've lost NXT standouts. We've lost veteran tag teams, and we've even lost a WWE Hall of Famer. So loads and loads going on. We're going to have a quick deep dive into that. You know, where some of these superstars and talent may end up on the other side of this. And yeah, this is the first time we've done a live news video, but here we are. So let us know what you think in the comments below, and we'll try to fill you in on what's going on. So let's get into the video. Number one, what are your immediate reactions to the releases? Let us know in the comments below. Let us know in the chat if you're watching along live. If you're watching this back, yeah, get them in the comments. Make sure you like the video. Help us by subscribing. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It's only February. Hopefully we'll get there. But please like, subscribe, and do all the good stuff for us. First superstar or superstars that I want to break down is Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, former Raw Tag Team Champions. Obviously, big history. AJ Styles, they call themselves the Club. No, it wasn't the Club, was it? What did the AJ Styles group call themselves? The OC, the original Club. That was it, wasn't it? Yeah, the OC. So I suppose they've been released before. They know where the land lays with this, and they came back when I think Triple H started to book the first time we lost Vince McMahon, or sort of almost lost Vince McMahon. The first time they actually ended up in TNA, I believe, or Impact at the time. So really exciting thing for Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson. Where will they end up this time? AEW, can't see it. New Japan, I mean, maybe, I'm sure they do bangers business over there like they did the first time. Really solid tag team, completely underutilized by WWE. And yeah, an absolute waste that we've lost Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson again. You know, veteran tag team, great workers. Carl Anderson especially, you know, absolutely fabulous worker. And really difficult to see these go, actually. And I know they haven't been on TV lots, but I'm just thinking back now to, you know, some of the tag team title matches that we have currently on Raw. You know, now that we've got the War Raiders as the tag champs, you know, the War Raiders versus the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, sounds like bangers business, and sounds like, why wouldn't you do that? So yeah, I'm absolutely dismayed that we've lost these two, but there you go. That's what's happened. And I suppose what's interesting is, why is WWE making these cuts now? I mean, it is the question that everybody's asking. And you know, we can only, sorry, getting a message through here. We can only I suppose guess. Is guess the word? I mean, we can only surmise, but all the talent that have been released weren't getting used a great deal, bar maybe one or two that I'll talk through. But I think this is cost cutting more than anything. And I know that sounds ridiculous because WWE is doing bangers business and more than ever, but they'll still have financial targets, profitability adjustments, especially going into WrestleMania season. You know, are they using the talent enough to keep them on board? Do they fit into that long-term plan and storytelling that Triple H and the rest of the creative team are doing? And yeah, I suppose genuinely based on how often have they been used recently, and are they going to be used going forward? Also, to make room for some new talent and some returning talent. So you got to think about, we've got Alexa Bliss, Nikki Bella, Charlotte Flair, Trish Stratus potentially, all back in the women's division. So, and we've lost, you know, quite a few women as part of these releases. I'll go through them in a second. And you know, we've got potential call-ups in the next couple of months from really quality NXT talent. Ethan Page, Trick Williams, not the Street Profits are back, but the Street Profits are also come back. I'm just thinking out loud here at some of the talent that we've now got on the roster. You know, we brought in the Motor City Machine Guns, we brought in Jordan Grace. So yeah, I can see why they've done it, but it's just that refresh thing. But there you go. Disappointing for the Good Brothers, absolutely. What about Giovanni Vinci, formerly known as Fabian Eichner? So the background was he was with Imperium tag team with Ludwig Kaiser and Gunter in that stable. Really solid trio. I was surprised when they split them up. I mean, I am impressed with Ludwig Kaiser since he's been as a singles and pushing on his own, especially over the last 6 weeks. However, Giovanni Vinci really didn't get enough time and failed with that push as a rich playboy, I think was the character they were going for. Obviously got defeated by Apollo Crews like twice in a row over 3 weeks, and just really killed his momentum after the VTs. Because I mean, when you introduce somebody with VTs, you can do a really good thing with them if you then follow that up with short matches against enhancement talent and really put them over. But we didn't get that with Giovanni Vinci. And yeah, I also feel quite bad for him as well, because not just similar to how I do with the Good Brothers, because they were there but didn't get used to their full potential. And I think that's a shame. I would have pushed on with Giovanni Vinci and gave him some wins and seen where we could go with him. I feel like we've missed an opportunity there. Really good worker, and I go back to what we've done with Ludwig Kaiser and think, why couldn't we have done that with Giovanni Vinci on the other show? But there you go. That's Vinci. Next one. This was the most surprising one for me. So all the others I could see coming pretty much, apart from this one. Isla Dawn, former women's tag champion, former NXT women's tag champion. In that tag team with Alba Fire on SmackDown. They've been getting a decent amount of airtime. They've been going back to NXT and working there. They've been working on the main roster. I'm surprised by Isla Dawn, and I'm just going to check it because apparently she put some sort of tweet out. I should have pulled this up actually before I went live, but I didn't. And she said, bring it up. Come on, Scott. Isla Dawn. Well, if you type Isla Dawn, she doesn't come up anyway. This is great dead air, isn't it? This. Here for a good time, not a long time. See you in 90, and then the calendar emoji was the message. Oh, that's why it wasn't a tweet; it was on Instagram. So, that suggests that she's observing the standard 90-day non-compete clause, but also that she's potentially already had some sort of offer, or at least she knows where she can go. So I don't think it'll be long till we see Isla Dawn again. Now, I think quality worker. Really enjoyed Isla Dawn. I'm surprised by this one because I think the tag team with Alba Fire was really good. We haven't got many women's tag teams in a division with tag titles that desperately needs tag teams. And even more surprised that if Isla Dawn's going, Alba Fire isn't going with her. Not that I dislike Alba Fire. I'm really glad she's staying, and I think we're in for a hell of a singles run, potentially, with Alba Fire. But still, Isla Dawn really shocked me that she's going on her own. Future prospects for TNA, maybe. AEW, maybe. Stardom, I would have thought so. And I imagine she'll do the UK scene again. I would have thought. I think she'll have quite a lot of work on. I think quality worker, and yeah, disappointed. But there you go. Next one I definitely saw coming. This is Cedric Alexander, so former cruiserweight champion, former tag champion. Former member of the Hurt Business, now the Hurt Syndicate in AEW, and that is exactly where I think he's going. I think he's going over to AEW to get himself into the Hurt Syndicate. Can't say that. They should have called themselves the Hurt Corporation. I can say that. What was WWE thinking with Cedric Alexander? What a waste of talent. Phenomenal worker. How we've missed the boat with him nearly twice. So much momentum coming out of the Cruiserweight Classic. Could have been could have been one of the leading mid-court carders on Raw or SmackDown, should have gone back to NXT this year and been in the title picture with Trick, Obafemi, Ethan Page, Javon Evans, and just has been floundering. So been released, will go to AEW and will do bangers business over there. And I can't wait. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic to see the Hurt Syndicate back together. And I know that wasn't the plan in WWE, but that doesn't mean it's a bad idea. It's going to be one of the better ideas or the better things that come out of AEW this year, I think. But yeah, Cedric, get yourself over there, mate. We can't wait to see you. Next one, was I surprised by this? No. Second time release for Akam and Razor of the Authors of Pain. Dominant NXT tag champs. I think they were Raw tag champs as well at some point. They've been wasted on the main roster. The silly, and it has been silly, the silly stable with Karrion Kross. If you're a fan of Karrion Kross, feel free to check out the website, theburningtruthuk.com, for Matt Burns' blog on Karrion Kross, actually talking about how he's changed WWE for the better. But Akam and Razor of his silly group have been released alongside Hall of Famer Paul Ellering, who's their manager. And yeah, they've been wasted on the main roster, these guys. They had some good tag team matches in NXT alongside the likes of DIY, etc. They've never really progressed on the main roster, and I haven't seen any improvement from them. But two big guys who are totally dominant, do we need to see improvement from them, or could we have just used them for exactly what they are? They've been underutilized, I think. Another tag team, another potentially great feud with the War Raiders. And yeah, I think we missed a trick. I genuinely do think we missed a trick to get at least something out of them this year. But if we want a cost save, there you go. If we've lost Akam and Razor to bring in the Motor City Machine Guns, I mean, the choice is easy there. So I'm glad we've made it. Akam and Razor gone. Paul Ellering gone. Obviously, I say obviously, it isn't obvious, but Triple H brought him back to work with the AOP after Vince had gone. Vince initially didn't want Paul Ellering with the Authors of Pain when he brought him up from NXT the first time. I don't know if you remember, but he actually put Spud with him initially. But yeah, Paul Ellering gone as well. Potential return to TNA, maybe. AEW's tag division, maybe. I mean, I really don't know where the AOP go next. Another one that I think, or this one potentially, I could see the AOP doing bangers business in New Japan, if I'm totally honest. I think they've got that aura of being double hard that they look for over there. Who's next? Blair Davenport, strong NXT UK run, underutilized on the main roster. They brought her up to SmackDown in the last draft. They didn't need to. They rushed it. They didn't have anything for her creatively, so I'm not sure why they brought her up. I went to watch SmackDown end of last year in Nottingham. Wasn't featured at all. Does she fit into AEW's women's division? I don't know enough about it to say yes or no. I am unsure what she does next, Blair Davenport. I don't know a great deal about her other than that strong NXT UK run. I hope she does really well out of this. So Blair Davenport, yeah, underutilized is the only word I've got to describe it. And then lastly, the last one that I want to cover off is Sonya Deville. So longest tenured release. She's been there since 2015. I think she did Tough Enough. Obviously, I keep saying obviously, but she did. She had that run with Mandy Rose on the main roster. Then as an official or a GM alongside Adam Pearce. And then most recently in this trio with Shayna Baszler and the other one, Zoe Stark, as Pure Fusion Collective, which I maintain is the worst stable name ever. Genuinely, worst stable name ever. With her, it's not necessarily a release. She's just been told that they're going to let her contract expire and not renew it. So what's next for her? She could pivot and go back to MMA. I know she's done MMA before. Hollywood, potentially. She's probably got the best chops out of all of them in terms of acting that I've seen. She'll have quite a reel based on what she's done on WWE TV over the last few years. So maybe she'll explore that. I'm disappointed Sonya Deville's gone. I think she's a good character. I didn't enjoy her most recent work as part of this group. I think actually we never got to see her really come out as a decent babyface, and I would have liked to have seen that side of her. But Sonya Deville not letting a contract, not renewing a contract, going to let that expire and then let her go on to pastures new. Who knows where Sonya Deville ends up next? I think she'll probably end up somewhere outside of wrestling. Quite honestly, I don't think we'll see her appear on AEW or Impact or any of the other shows. I think she'll go and do something outside of wrestling. But that is just an idea and a thought that I've had. So I suppose these cuts have been similar to past cuts. You know, normally after Mania, sometimes after the Rumble. Could more stars be on the chopping block over the next couple of days? Maybe. If you subscribe to the channel, and please, I hope you are, we'll definitely come back and talk about those too. Who would you like to have saved? Put in the comments below. Who are you glad is gone, potentially? Put that in the comments below. And also really interested in where you think people will end up. So where do you think the Good Brothers, AOP, Blair Davenport, what do you think their next move is? Do you agree with me, or is there something that I'm missing that I haven't thought of? AEW, TNA, New Japan, the Indies, and who has got the biggest potential for a Cody Rhodes comeback? That is what I'm really interested in. Who out of this group could come back and set the world on fire in WWE in 2-3 years? Because that is really interesting to me. And that's the news for tonight. So another red hot episode of The Burning Truth live in the books. WWE just shook up the roster in a major way, and it's going to have a ripple effect across the entire wrestling world, I think, because these tag teams especially are going to land somewhere and do big business. Cedric going over to AEW is big news. So yeah, I want to hear from you. All those things I've just said, and what was the most shocking release for you? We are desperate to get to 1,000 subscribers this year on YouTube. So please, if you want to help the show, subscribe, like the video, do all the good stuff, share it with your friends wherever you watch wrestling, and turn on notifications, spread the word. Let's build a community together, because that's what we want to do. As always, stay hyped, keep enjoying your wrestling. DFTBA, as Matt Burns says, and I'll see you next time on The Burning Truth. Excelsior. Cheers, guys.